Hello and welcome to our Wednesday devotion from Harvey Brown Presbyterian Church. Today we come together in the season of Christmas, a season that stretches from the night when we come together and celebrate Christ's birth on Christmas Eve, all the way to Epiphany, when we celebrate the arrival of the wise ones who came to greet the child Jesus. Today, depending on how you count, we are either on day 5 or day 6 of Christmas. Some people start their counting with Christmas Day, and then the season carries them to the day just before Epiphany, and those are the 12 days of Christmas. Some people start their counting on the day after Christmas, and then the 12th day actually falls on Epiphany and is included within the season. But when I was thinking about this, it made me think about that song that now will probably be stuck in your head today. I apologize for that. But the 12 Days of Christmas, it turns out, is a song that goes back all the way to the 1700s. Historians think that it started off as a song that children sang as part of the different Christmas performances around this season. It started in England and then it took off, traveling all over the world, the words changing a little bit sometimes, the tune maybe changing a bit. But here we are hundreds of years later. When we hear that it's the 5th day, we know that means 5 golden rings. Or if it's the 6th day, that's 6 French hens. It's become something of a tradition that we take on. And it all started with some children singing at a performance at their church hundreds of years ago. It makes me think about the different traditions that we all have around this very special season. When we were putting together the Christmas Eve service, I wanted to learn the traditions of this church. And it turns out the traditions of this church are not unlike the traditions of so many others. We light the Christ candle. We read the story of Jesus' birth as it comes to us from the Gospel of Luke. We read from John about how light shines in the darkness and darkness cannot overcome it. And at the end, we raise our candles, whether we're gathered together in a sanctuary or whether we're in the safety of our own homes, raising that light as we sing Silent Night together, remembering that no matter how difficult and chaotic this world becomes, God is with us. That light is shining in our lives. Think about the traditions that we have at church, and then think about the traditions that you have in the season of Christmas. Maybe it's putting out different nativities all over your house. Maybe it's decorating your Christmas tree. Maybe it's different little decorations that might have some significance to your family. I think about how on Christmas Eve, our family would always gather together to hear my dad read stories, and it would often include some different version of the night before Christmas that he would surprise us with that night. But that was part of our tradition. That was important to us to repeat year after year after year, because it reminds us in this darkest time of year that the light shines, that Christ is born, that we have reason to rejoice. So think about the traditions that you hold. Think about the traditions that this church holds. Think about the traditions that might be coming out, might be being born right in our midst now. The Christmas pageant, I think, brought so much joy to people this year because it helped remind us of God's presence with us. Think about the traditions. Think about how we can continue to remember the good news as we live into this beautiful season together. So I say to you again, Merry Christmas. I hope you have a blessed Christmas season.